of this assignment. All right. And it should start in the next 5 seconds. It's on there now. Part two. This is you're going to check out right now. Bring me your art. Put your name on the back, the number down the back of your paper with a color pencil or no, not that. It's a, not that one. Use a color pencil or sharpie. So somebody might take credit. All right, let's go ahead and continue our shading, paying attention to the darks and the lights. Thank you, sir. Can you shut the door on your way back out? So we are working on finishing up this pumpkin. We're going to get 2 pumpkins done today. Now look at your pumpkins carefully because it needs to show dark to light, and then there's a little more dark toward the top. So make sure that you're putting exactly what goes in that space, okay? Now, eventually, we're going to take a wet paintbrush like this, and we are going to apply the water onto the design. I like to paint in the lighter spaces first and then work my way to the darker spaces. They're up there on the countertop. I think I put some there. And we'll get to all the rest of them as well. But sometimes I like to do one at a time so that I can establish the values ahead of time. Because, like I said, all the other pumpkins that we create are going to be lighter value than this darker one. And I'll even leave some of my graphite showing in my design some of the pencil lead will show. Graphite means pencil, right? That's what graphite means.
Bullying is never the answer.
Pay attention to where the darts are and the lights are. That's how your art will look like a realistic pumpkin drawing. Cavante, you are going to have to do this assignment too for a grade, okay? Don't accept the zero. So notice that I did not have to do a tremendous amount of shading, especially when I already had paint the graphite on my brush. Some of the areas I left white and just cleaning my brush real good and barely putting some of that graphite on the top of the white area to make it lighter. Because there's no white showing in this pumpkin at all. They're all dark values five, well, four, five, and six. If you remember our value chart that we had at the beginning of the year. John, are you working? No white are showing at all. Everything is going to have some kind of value, four, five, or six. And if I need to, I'll go back over a really dark that I need with the graphite stick after I actually finish the painted part if I need a darker value. And I did need some even more darker value showing. That looks really good. Excuse me. Paint? I don't understand what you mean paintbrushes. They're right. Now I love how the graphite sticks turn to paint with just simple water. But you have to make sure that you have the lights in the right place so that it looks three-dimensional. If the lights aren't in the right space, it's not going to look correct, right? Now, since I have finished that darker one, I can now move on to my next one. And I've already showed you how to pay attention to the curves of the watermelon, not watermelon, pumpkin. John, I'm gonna block you on your laptop. I'm gonna block you. All right, love bugs. Let's go ahead now. And if you finish painting this, now I'm gonna keep going on mine, but when you get a chance, you will see what I'm doing for that next pumpkin as well. You still need to show the bumpy textures. It's gonna look exactly like this here pumpkin. Yours is sitting there, so you're gonna get those bumpy textures in, correct? Yes, you do. Remember when I was drawing these circles here and I was showing it? That was my whole point. Look back at that video, and not the one that's at part two, the one that's not a part. It's that first one, okay? And you will see me drawing these dark little texture bumps. So make sure that your pumpkin has the texture bumps, okay? We're not just drawing random pumpkins. We're drawing the pumpkins that we actually see in the handout, right, y'all? Okay, let's keep going. Your test part will be whether you have done the values accurately, whether you have shown the texture accurately, and you made the correct shapes. If I see bumpy texture on the yellow one, I draw bumpy texture, etc., etc. Pay attention to the shadow shapes. Those are the stripes. Those stripes have shapes. Look at it carefully when you put that shape and color it in exactly the way that shape looks, right? Everything, all of them is going to be graphite, and we'll add that little water on it, change it to paint. Remember to leave in some of the light areas light. That means you're not using a lot of graphite in that area. Now the next test on your work is if every single one of your pumpkins are dark like this, that means you didn't do it right. All of these pumpkins are different shades of gray in your handout. I should see those different shades of gray. How? Press down darker, press down heavier. If it's a dark area, lighten up, lift up the pencil lightly to shade a dark, lighter one. It's not really rocket science. It's pressure, no pressure, light pressure, right? Now, y'all will get y'all report cards here this week. Now, I was lenient on some of your grades. That's usually the first 6 weeks. A lot of teachers are a little more lenient. But as the semester goes on, the leniency goes away because you should be getting better and better in your work. So if you're not getting better and better, then your grade is getting worse and worse, correct? All right.
I ain't been doing your work. After rotation.
I hope.
At least I'm doing it.
If you will, can go there and experience of y'all have lunch already. There's a little bit more bump textures on the pumpkin at the bottom as well. So make sure you're showing those bumpy textures where you see them. We're just not making up stuff. We draw what we see. Apparently, there's too much activity in the cafeteria. Our department, we're told to not let you guys go out to the restroom during third period because you have plenty, they say you have plenty of time during your lunch. Yeah, some people messed it up for y'all.
One.
That's not correct. This is the same document you this. You're not taking your time and doing the values, you just scribbling them up. You gotta take your time, press down dark when it needs to be dark, no, press down dark when it needs to be dark, light up when it needs to be light. You're trying, but let's do it right now. If you need another paper, I have another paper for you. That's good, I'll see you work. Tapping on your phone, and don't put this grade with y'all, come on now. Get it in, get it in. Hey, you don't have to respond, I think you want a response from you, right? So for those of you that think you're gonna get too dark, look at me. I'm taking my brush, wet brush, and I put it on the graphite stick, and then I start applying some of the designs. That's so that you know what you really know won't get darker. That makes sense. Yeah. You know what you know. I'm conveying information from my brain to my paintbrush. That's what we're doing. Keep going. Just looking for a ticket.
getting there. Think you're going. Getting there a lot. Way much better than before. See the bumpy textures? Yeah, way better.